Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Irish Rover for the Neshaminy Football Preview Show here on the WBCB Sports Network. My name is Mike Warren, joined by Steve Wilmot, head coach of the Skins. An exciting season embarks in just 10 days as Friday Night Lights make their return to the greater Bucks County area and the high school slate as a whole. Steve, thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate you coming out and your players coming out tonight as well. And we can't wait to dive into the season ahead, the players that you have here with us tonight, and let's get things started. You know, it starts up front with the linemen, and a couple of linemen here with us to start here tonight. Who do we have with us here to start?
Offensive line is something near and dear to my heart because that's what I coach. I have two guys. The first guy to my left here is our center who starts everything off, Kyler Nelson. Kyler played every single game last year. He was very productive for us. Last year, he was voted first team all-league by all the coaches in our league. And, again, we're expecting him to have a great year. RJ was a starter last year. Got injured a little bit in the middle of the season, but came back strong. So this is we're real excited about our offensive line as a whole. I wish I could bring all five of them, but I just brought these two to represent the whole group.
Now, these two guys, you mentioned that they've been through a lot, and they set the tone up front. And what's the energy that you get from both of these guys when you know that you have both of them on your line? First snap, start of the game, what's kind of the energy that you know that these two guys are going to bring from the start?
Yeah, I mean, to be successful in high school football, you have to be able to run the ball. I know our quarterback wants us to protect him, but at the end of the day, you win games by running the football, and these guys take a lot of pride in that. Our whole group takes pride in it. We know we have to be really physical if we want to have a successful year this year.
Well, Kyler, you're coming off a first-team all-conference selection, conference this past year. What are some goals for you this year? I mean, you got those accolades, which are tremendous. The Suburban One Conference is a powerhouse. A lot of talent comes out of there. You were a first-team member a season ago. What are some both personal goals for you that you have this year, and then how do you see the Skins as well rounding into form and heading into this season?
Yeah, I mean, personally, just want to go for, I already got my goals, so I'm just looking for more the team-wise. 10-0 has been the goal all off-season. Want to make playoffs and just get as far as we can in that. So we just want to win games this year, really.
And RJ, you've been on this line now for a couple of years, and you've been able to see the progressions and what Coach Wilmot's talking about with running the ball, starting with running the football. As a lineman, you got to take a lot of pride in that. And what do you kind of see your role on this team coming into this season? What's your role? How do you fit into all this, and how do you present yourself and carry yourself both in the locker room and out onto the field?
I carry myself pretty high. I like to work with my line. We all work together as a team. We like to say 5 as 1 because we all work in one unit. We've all worked very hard this offseason. We all pride ourselves on the work we put in. We've all gotten 10 times stronger, and we all believe that we're the best line we could be right now.
So you guys are 10 days away from opening night. The first time you guys get to suit up at Heartbreak Ridge. An exciting night for you guys. You guys have, I think, one of the best atmospheres, hands down, across Bucks County, across having a home football advantage. What's it like for you guys the first time you walk out of that tunnel, you walk out onto the field, you see the seats filled and the bleachers packed to the gills, and that energy that comes with playing on the Ridge, a new playing surface for you guys this past year, and a lot of energy and excitement around that. Just, if you can, what are some of the things that you look forward to when you know that it's opening night, it's Friday night, week 1, and we get to represent on our home field?
Yeah, I mean, our fans really just motivate us, and we just want to, win for them, basically, because they're there every game. The Skins boys are there every game, so all we want to do is perform for them and put on a show.
You guys have probably one of the better student sections, I would say, across Bucks County as well.
Yeah, they're great.
They give you guys a lot of energy. You just mentioned them too, but you look forward to this season ahead, and a lot of big Friday nights coming up. You start with your first 2 games at home against Emmaus, and then you go into Council Rock North. That's kind of turned into a nice little rivalry locally as well. It has been for years, but not that you want to look past Emmaus, a good talent and a good start, but Council Rock North comes right in the week after that, and a lot of local ties. Do you guys know anybody on that team maybe? A lot of familiarity with the crosstown rivalry, or just some things that you're looking forward to with that Council Rock meeting as well?
I don't really know anybody on the Council Rock team. I know a couple of people in Pennsbury, but I mean, we're mainly looking week by week, game by game. Focus on that, and then focus on every game, every team.
All right, well, we'll do just that. Let's focus on week one with Emmaus. You know, a couple of days of practice under your guys' belt, but what's sort of the tone that's been set in those practices and the message that's been sent across to you guys in terms of coming away with a win week one against Emmaus?
I think our practices immediately from the start set a super high standard. You mess up, it's okay, get up to the next play, but we're going to get better every time. So we make sure to have that standard every practice to be as great as we can possibly.
That's a great response. Again, we're here with Kyler Nelson and RJ Escher, two of the big offensive linemen and two of the big rocks that make things happen for the Neshaminy Skins offensively. Now, you heard your coach say it starts with the ground and pound. It starts with the offense up front running the football, but you guys were able to find the end zone through the air a couple of times last year, a handful of times as well. How do you guys see your offense kind of the ability to keep defenses off balance with that threat that you can put the ball in the air if you have to? What's sort of been, the first impressions that you've gotten from your offense just from looking at it this year and how you might be able to pose some threats through the air if you have to as well?
Yeah, I think our run game is super strong. As you were saying, our O-line got very strong in the offseason, one of the most strong teams we've had in a while. But while we're shoving the ball down people's throats, we also have a great quarterback, Mike Eckert, who you'll see later, who's able to put touchdowns in the air, as you said. So defenses have to be able to cover both. So we'll see how that goes for them.
And you're being the center now. You work with a new quarterback this year. What's kind of been that like with you and Mike getting on the same page? And, a lot goes in between the quarterback and the center. It's kind of like in baseball with the pitcher and the catcher. You guys got to be on the same page. What's that been like for you guys so far through camp, being able to build that chemistry?
Yeah, all off season we've been doing stuff together, bonding. The whole team has really. But, Mike Eckert is definitely a friend on top of being a teammate, so that helps the chemistry. Just getting snaps with them all day, and so.
Now, I'll pose this question to both of you guys. For people that don't know about the Neshaminy Skins, coming into this season, what do you want them to know about this team?
We're hard. We're working hard. I want them to know that we're going to hit them hard. Every week we're going to try our best to win. We're going to try our hardest.
Absolutely. It's a great response, and really enjoy having you guys up here. Steve, these two young men, they've answered all of my questions very, very well, and that's not the easiest thing to do because I can be long-winded at times, but a big season ahead of you guys here. And, when we talked on the phone yesterday, you mentioned, of course, you don't want to look too far ahead, but the Pennsbury game, you said that last year, how that ended and how you can carry that into momentum of this year. You as a coach, how do you use that game as motivation, and how do you kind of get them each week to stay focused week by week until that time comes for the biggest rivalry in Bucks County?
Like we said yesterday, I don't even start thinking about the Pennsbury game until, maybe halfway through the year. Pennsbury's got a good. I'm excited to see how they make out in their first game against Northampton, a strong team from the Lehigh Valley. But we also have a strong team from the Lehigh Valley also. So it should be interesting. It's Lower Bucks versus the Lehigh Valley. We'll see how it goes, but. I can start to get excited about Pennsbury as the season goes on, but I can't really think about Pennsbury until, the Sunday morning after CB South when we put the Pennsbury film on and we start scouting them.
Absolutely. Well, we talked a little bit about Emmaus, 10 days away from opening kickoff against them. What have your messages been to your team? A couple of practices under your belt. What are you guys really looking out for Emmaus?
Emmaus has got some really good football players on their team. They really do. They have some tall, athletic people up front. I've been watching their defensive line. They have some very skilled people on their lines. They play an odd front, like a blitzing type odd front, where they cover the tackle, center, and tackle, and they bring a lot of blitzes. They're going to put pressure on us. I watch a game that they played last year, and it's week 6, week 7, and man, their defensive line is really coming off the ball. Last year, they sent a defensive lineman to Indiana. They had a Big Ten lineman. They have a lineman coming back this year who's got some Division I offers. So they have a lot of good football players on their team.
With all that talent that they have, and you speak very highly of this offensive line that you guys have, and rightfully so. The talent speaks for itself. The experience speaks for itself. Kyler, for you personally, you hear about that talent on the front 7 for Emmaus. how do you as a center make sure that you're properly communicating with your guys, the different looks that they can give and maybe even the transformations that they can give pre-snap and just a shift of the line? How do you make sure that you're on the same page with the other four guys around you on that front five?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the privilege of working with five offensive linemen who have all played varsity snaps before, so they all have experience in some way. And I think personally, for all of us, it was like easier learning the plays because of that experience. So, you know, that translates to the lines because we were able to communicate better, and because of that connection we have too. So the communication is key, and it should translate in our game.
Really great speaking with you guys both. Again, Kyler Nelson, the center, R.J. Escher, a very valuable offensive lineman. Two of the big guys up front that make things happen for the Neshaminy Skins. Steve, thanks so much for having these guys come out tonight, and we definitely want to get to know the rest of your offense as well. So we will thank, Kyler and R.J. for taking the time out. We'll get some more of this offense rotated in. Whoever you think should come up next,
We're going to bring the wide receivers up next.
Let's do it.
Chris Long and Cole Tarapchak.
That's awesome. We can take a quick timeout. We'll take a quick commercial break here on the Neshaminy Football Preview Show here from the Irish Rover at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. We'll be right back. The Neshaminy Football Preview Show continues here from the Irish Rover in Langhorne.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory ready to drive home today, including Camrys, RAV4s, and Tundras. And with over 200 certified used Toyotas, you can find the right fit for you or for your budget with 75 used cars under $20,000. Plus, our service departments are giving back this August with donations to kids in need for every oil change and tire rotation. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or online at teamtoyota.net.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBSports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
The Neshaminy Football Preview Show continues here on WBCB. The first full season on YouTube for WBCB. You can catch us live at WBCB Sports Network on YouTube all season long. Looking forward to another great slate of football as we continue to preview and highlight the Neshaminy Skins and their 2024 roster and season ahead. Coach, again, 2 fine gentlemen up here with us, 2 of your wide receivers, and if you could just reintroduce to them, to everybody here tonight, 2 guys that you're very proud of and excited for the season ahead for both of these.
Definitely. To my left here, we have Cole Tarapchak. Cole played as a 10th grader, played it as an 11th grader, saw a lot of different times, made a lot of good plays. He's also runs speed sweeps, so he also gets a couple carries during the course of the game. Does a nice job. Also will definitely help us out on defense too. So he's a very valuable player to our team. Chris Long saw time last year until he had a season-ending injury. He was just kind of really getting into a groove. Then unfortunately got injured. I think that injury made him really hungry in the offseason because he's worked really hard and right now he's seeing a lot of time on offense and a lot of time on defense too. So 2 guys that are really going to be valuable for us as the season moves on.
Well, Chris, we'll start with you first. Your coach mentions a season-ending injury, and you hear the saying across sports, a minor setback for a major comeback. How have you kind of used that injury from last year as motivation, getting you ready for the 2024 season?
Well, I was upset at first, and then I started working out and just getting honestly,
made you hungry, right?
yeah, it made me hungry, made me want to play even more, watching all my teammates, all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's definitely tough anytime you get injured in general, but having that moment to where you're on the sideline and you're not able to be out there with your guys, that in itself serves as a lot of motivation. But we talked a little bit with a couple of the offensive linemen here, and the importance of blocking for this run game to start the run game. But you guys are both versatile wide receivers. What's something that really excites you about the offense when you look at it just through the first couple of practices?
we're an all-around good offense. We throw a lot, we run a lot, and everything about our offense is actually really great. So Yeah.
Very exciting stuff for that as well. And Cole, you've been used in a number of different ways and a lot of experience early on in your career. How do you feel coming into this season that years past have kind of gotten you ready for now? And what are you kind of looking to take to the next level, if you will, in your game this season?
I'm looking to take everything to the next level. I'm looking to improve all around as a leader, as a player, looking to just work harder, get better. I've learned a lot from players in the past. Just looking to do great this year and go 10-0.
That's a big goal ahead of you guys, and definitely a strong sentiment. You guys will be able to put that to the test right from the start against Emmaus. You know, we talked a little bit about their defense and what they can present to you guys from an offensive standpoint, but what do you guys think is the key from a receiver standpoint, how you guys can play your role and be integral in a win in week 1?
I think it starts out with great blocking on the perimeter. I think we got to block well. Explosive plays will come. I think we just got to do our jobs as a receiver, like run our routes to perfection, catch the ball, look it in, get upfield, and just have big plays and make big plays happen for all of our teammates.
And Chris?
He honestly said everything I was going to say. So, I mean, it all starts out with blocking. Blocking is probably one of the most important things you can have on an offense to just get everything and start going.
Who are some guys that you look to on the field for both of you? This question goes to. Who are the leaders on your team? Two guys that you look to when maybe things aren't going your way or when times get tough or, you know, there's a tough workout. Who are some of your leaders that you guys look to and kind of dig deep and, you know, help you guys guide it along the way throughout this process?
First of all, Connor Frederick. He's been a leader since he's gotten here. He's always been leading. Right now, he's making big plays, always saying stuff when we need it, always encouraging, and he's just been a huge factor on this team already.
And our junior quarterback, Mike Eckert, he just puts everyone in his place when they need to be. He's a solo person that just takes control when needs to be and just gets everyone in line.
Well, Steve, you hear these two guys talking about the importance of the little details, and you as a coach, that's got to get you excited because I feel like in football more than any other sport, it's the little things. It's the first step. It's where your hands go, where your feet are supposed to be aligned. Are they under your shoulders? Those type of things. You hear two of your receivers talking right off the bat about the importance of setting the edge in the run game, and right away you hear that, one, there's no ego there, meaning they want the ball or they need to catch it in the air or anything like that. When you hear that from those two guys that they're ready to block, they're ready to do whatever it takes to win, what does that do for you as a coach? Does that excite you at all?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's our offense. You know, our offense, and the offensive line says 5 as 1, and really it's 11 as 1. I mean, we can hand the ball off to Cole in a speed sweep, but if Chris doesn't block out there, Cole's not going to get a yard. The thing what I think about with these guys, and we do balance. When we had the linemen up here, we were talking about running the ball, but we do balance the run and the pass. It is so important for any football team to convert third downs. It is so important. If you convert those third down plays are really important. They're magnified. And we really need these two guys to really help us out on third down and make that big catch when is needed.
Absolutely, and these two guys, they've shown, at least just from their time being up here, that the mindset is in the right place. You know, they want to do whatever it takes to win. Who are some guys, and again, this goes to both of you. You guys are both receivers. In the NFL, it's a very big passing league, of course, but who are some wide receivers that you guys kind of look up to or maybe model your craft after?
You, sir?
I know Cole's got one.
I model my craft after, I'd say Reggie Wayne. I was a huge Colts fan growing up, so I watched a lot of his game, and it's just the way he plays the game, the way he runs his routes, it's just fantastic watching him play.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne was definitely, a good route runner, but also a really good blocker as well, and that was the first thing that came out of your mouth, setting the edge, making sure you're blocking the right way as well. That's a great wide receiver to look up to. How about yourself, Chris?
Probably Jerry Rice. He's all around. He was an all-around fantastic player, got everything done, his footwork, the routes, just mossing everyone. So, yeah.
So, in this modern day of football, and it kind of started back with Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders. you look good, you feel good, you play good. What are some of the swag that you guys bring onto the field? Is there a certain arm sleeve you guys have to wear, or certain gloves? Do you guys like to rock a visor? Do you have the mouthpiece of the baby mouthpiece that covers the whole mouth? There's so many little intricacies in the on-field drip nowadays, but what do you guys like to rock out on the field on Friday night that has you feeling good and ready to go?
I just like to, what's it called? Sometimes I wear an arm sleeve. Like last game I wore an arm sleeve once, but sometimes it doesn't really fit me too well. Like it wasn't really my type of thing to like wear too much drip. So like I kind of like to just tone it down a little bit and just maybe tape up the wrist a little bit.
There you go. Keep it simple. Tape the wrists always means you're going to work. You're ready to go. Chris, you got anything that you like to keep in your routine on game day?
Just tape the wrist as usual. I didn't really wear an arm sleeve. I wear it for a couple games, but it's honestly just I don't worry about anything like that. I just want to play.
Chris
my
is
game.
an old school throwback player. He doesn't need all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good.
Cole does.
It's good to have that good balance between old school and new school. It seems like you guys got a lot of that going for you and the wide receiver core this year. What's one thing, I asked the lineman this as well, but what's one thing that you guys want the rest of the league or the rest of Bucks County to know about this Neshaminy team and this Neshaminy offense heading into 2024?
We're a family. We're all one. We're all united. We're coming hungry this year. I think we're just excited to get back on the field, excited to make plays, excited to win games.
Absolutely.
We work hard 100% of the time, offense, defense. We bond really well together, and we all just know how to play football together.
That's awesome. Great speaking with you guys both. Again, we have Chris Long and Cole Tarpachik here with us tonight, and you guys both have, you've laid out exactly what you guys want to accomplish this season, what you think this team is capable of, and we really appreciate you guys coming on here tonight. You guys have some family out here with you tonight, out in attendance and watching out on the show?
Yeah, right there.
It's like a long family reunion out there.
There we go. Good stuff. Always good to have the family out and exciting. Now, I talked a little bit about it with the home field advantage at Heartbreak Ridge, but again, it's a unique atmosphere that you guys have, the overlook that you have there, and the atmosphere that is able to be brought there on a Friday night. What excites you guys the most about opening up your season at home and being able to start week one like you did last year at Heartbreak Ridge?
I think the fans really excite me. I love hearing the crowd. Everyone always comes and shows support. A lot of diehard Neshaminy fans out there. So I think that's really exciting. Playing underneath that stadium, like the lights that I've been growing up with, I think that really excites me.
It's always good to start a home game to show what we can do, and it's just the fans that get us all hyped up and just there to watch us.
You guys were able to have a big victory on the debut of the new turf surface last year. You guys had a really dominant victory against Kensington, and you don't want to get too far ahead, but how do you guys set the tone against Emmaus?
I think we come out the gate I don't think we think we're gonna win. I think we come out the gate knowing we gotta fight for the win, because I think throughout last year we kind of thought we were gonna win right after Kensington, and that was just bad all along. So I think we gotta just come out the gate thinking that we gotta work for it, and we're gonna work for it.
Just like he said, I feel like we kind of overhyped ourselves against Kensington, and we just got to come out the gate. We have to. It's just a street fight, honestly, and we just have to come out there and work hard.
So you guys have both talked about the hard work that you've put in, but only a couple practices under your belt to this point. What's the intensity level been like in those practices so far, and the workouts that you guys have had? Have you guys been able to get back into football shape pretty quickly, or what's the adjustment period been like for you guys?
Oh yeah, we got in real fast. I think we've been working all off season in the weight room. The mentality there is fantastic. Everyone wants to go 10-0. Everyone's hungry to get better, hungry to improve. So I think we're been really working hard this year, this off season.
Yeah, everyone's been lifting, doing great at practice. Everyone's getting at each other, just like bonding, all of that. And we're just ready to go for our first game.
Definitely, I can feel the energy from here. You guys seem like you're prepared. You're ready to go and ready to put on the helmets and strap it on for the first time this season. We're looking forward to covering you guys here on WBCB all season long, like we always do with the Neshaminy Skins. But we can't thank you guys enough for taking the time, coming out here tonight, and getting me excited. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up for some Neshaminy Skins football. So best of luck to you two guys, and really looking forward to seeing you guys progress this year as well on WBCB. Awesome stuff. Two of the best wide receivers you'll find here in the area in both Chris Long and Kyle Terpachik, and both of those guys
Bring Connor.
laying it out exactly what it's going to take for a successful season, the ups and the downs from a year ago, what they've been able to kind of earn and work towards heading into a tough season in Bucks County. A lot of talent across the Suburban One Conference, but a lot of talent resides here on this Neshaminy Skins roster. Coach Steve Wilmot here joining us, and more joining us, some more players as well. Coach, who do we have joining the show now?
To my left, I have Michael Eckert. He's our junior quarterback. Last year, he saw time at safety, did a nice job at safety for us. He was kind of our nickel safety last year. We'll probably have the same role, but the role he's here to speak about tonight is the role of quarterback. He's done a nice job all offseason, not only as a quarterback and honing his craft there, but also in the leadership capacity. To his left is our junior running back, Carter Klee. Carter saw a lot of carries last year. If I was more prepared, how many yards you run for last year, Carter?
600, I think.
600 yards. So he kind of shared the role last year. I think he always started every game, but we had a very capable guy who kind of came in behind him. We just kind of went last year with whoever had the hot hand. You can see Carter had 600 yards. He had a lot of hot hands last year. And, this year at Neshaminy, where we've had good years, we have a running back that we can hand the ball to 25, 30 times a game and really carry the load for the team. And I think Carter figures to be that guy this year. To his left is our tight end, kind of the jack of all trades. He's a tight end, wide receiver, good blocker, good pass catcher, Connor Frederick. Last year, I think his play last year definitely warranted some all-league recognition. He got honorable mention, but the two players in front of him at the tight end position were pretty darn good. The kid from CD South had a terrific year. They had a good tight end. The tight end from CD East, he had a great year. They built their whole offense around him. In a normal year, I think Connor would have been higher with the all-league recognition. It was just really crowded last year at the tight end position in the Suburban One National.
Coach, we appreciate that breakdown as always, and we'll start things first with the quarterback and Michael Eckert. Michael, transitioning from safety to quarterback now, and we hear your coach saying you're going to be doing both this year as well, but what's it kind of been like for you? I mean, you come into camp, you're the guy under center every snap, and what's kind of that transition been like for you so far?
It's been pretty easy because I've been playing football and Little League sports with these guys for a while, so they've really been backing me. And some of the things at safety translate back over to quarterback, and it really helps me like read coverages and things like that.
So, a lot of attention comes to the quarterback as well, but again, your coach just did a great job highlighting the talent that you guys have. The two guys next to you, very talented individuals. How do you make sure that, you balance everything in the offense? Obviously, there's play calls that you abide by, but how do you make sure that you provide a balance as a quarterback, both in the huddle and then out there from a play-to-play basis?
Pre-snap, just reading the coverage and seeing what guys may come open and like read options and things like that. Most of these guys have a play for them, and I know that I can get the ball to them.
And I've asked this question to a number of guys that have been up here so far, but what excites you the most about this offense?
Just our ability to run the ball, and then we can pass it over your heads, and we're fast.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here on the other side. We're going to continue our conversation with Mike Eckert, Carter Klee, and Connor Frederick as well. Don't go anywhere. It's the Neshaminy Football Preview Show here at the Irish Rover. Great to have everybody out. And for fine food and great fun for the entire family, make sure you visit the Irish Rover Station House at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Tuesday nights, try their seafood platter. Wednesday night at the Irish Rover is their prime rib dinner night. And on Trivia Thursdays, they feature their killer burgers. Daily and weekend specials from the Rover's famous gourmet wings to go, and great reasonably priced dinner entrees like their filet mignon to their whiskey salmon. Sundays, enjoy the Rover's Station House all week long. Tuesday through Sunday, they have a great banquet hall for catered events, from showers to private parties. All that here at the Irish Rover, including the Neshaminy Football Preview Show, which will continue on the other side of this timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue our talk with the Skins next here on WBCB.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory ready to drive home today, including Camrys, RAV4s, and Tundras. And with over 200 certified used Toyotas, you can find the right fit for you, or for your budget with 75 used cars under $20,000. Plus, our service departments are giving back this August with donations to kids in need for every oil change and tire rotation. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or online at teamtoyota.net.
The Neshaminy Football Preview Show continues here on WBCB as we speak with quarterback Michael Eckert, running back Carter Klee, and tight end Connor Frederick, coming off of an honorable mention season across the Suburban One League Conference. And Carter, let's get to know you a little bit, my friend, because you're coming off of a pretty good season last year. 7 total touchdowns, 6 of them for you on the ground, 600 yards rushing for you. A new role this season, so to speak, but not really, because just a little bit more usage for you expected this season. How have you been preparing coming into this year, knowing that you're going to be the feature back in this offense?
I got moved up as a freshman, so I've been playing with these guys for 2 years now. I know the offense. I know everything that's going on. As a running back, I got to make plays, got to follow my blocks, got to score touchdowns, and that's what to win games, you got to score touchdowns, and that's what I want to do this season, win games.
Love hearing that. That's always definitely a good thought to have, especially as a running back, and what you guys predicate yourselves on offensively, making the third and manageable plays, be available, driving the ball downfield. You heard from a couple of your offensive linemen here tonight, and those are some guys that you get to know very well and have to be on the same page with. What's it been like for you so far throughout camp, getting to progress with them and sort of work through some of the ups and downs in the offense?
It's kind of been a journey, learning everything that's going on, learning about the players on this team. We got a couple new blockers, so it's been a journey. We came a long way since the beginning of the off season where we started practicing, but we're getting better every single day.
And what excites you the most about this offense and just the season ahead? I mean, you guys start out at home, a lot to really improve on from a season ago, but it seems like from all the guys that we've talked with here tonight, the mission is the same, which is just week by week, trying to go 1-0. What have really, you've seen from camp that sort of gives you the impression that we're capable of doing this, we've got a strong team, and we're ready to go?
Everything kind of excites me for this season. I'd say everyone wants to win. That's the big thing. Everyone on this team wants to win, and I don't see why we can't do that with the team that we have on this team right now.
Well, the 2 guys sitting next to you as well, very integral parts of the offense. And how do you 3 work together to sort of not just be leaders for the offense when you have to be, but how do you guys stay on the same page as the season kind of unwinds?
Michael here, he's been, I've known him my whole life basically. We played Pee Wee football together. This year he got moved up to starting quarterback for us, but he's been calling off-season practices and everything without coaches. He does it. He wants to win more than anyone on this team, and I believe in him. Connor's a great tight end. He does everything, catches touchdowns. He's been great. He was great last season. That's really.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of exciting pieces. I mean, the 3 of you guys coming off of impressive years from a season ago, and definitely some larger expectations for you guys as you continue to be thrusted into those starting positions. If you guys don't mind, if you wouldn't mind just passing the headset over to Connor, definitely want to speak with him a little bit. Connor Frederick, the starting tight end for the Neshaminy Skins, coming off a 3-touchdown season last year for you, Connor. Honorable mention, you hear your coach talk about the talent at tight end a season ago, and I want to get your thoughts on that, because honorable mention, that's a great honor. I mean, it really is. You get recognized, especially at a position that had a lot of talent. How did you see yourself sizing up against those other tight ends across the Suburban One Conference?
To be honest, I thought I was right there with him. Besides the tight end from CB East, he was really good. I mean, he was coming off like a 500-yard season, 600-yard season, but I mean, I thought I was up there with everyone else. I mean, the talent-wise, I thought was there.
So last year, you find pay dirt 3 different times through the air. Tight ends, a lot of the time, you get put into positions where you're predominantly a blocker, but you also pose that threat vertically as well. what do you like about your game specifically that you see kind of coming into form again this year as the practices have started to unfold?
I mean, pretty much I can always get open, find holes in the defense, what coverages they have and how to attack it. I think I do a good job of that.
What's something that you guys, Mike and Connor, what have you guys been able to work on before the organized practices have started? You mentioned, that you've started to work with the team. You've had a group chat, you're texting guys, let's get out and throw, let's run routes. What is something that you two work on specifically to get that chemistry down going into week one?
So basically me and Mike, we've been having other practices with Coach Jones. He's our quarterbacks coach, and he would hold some practices with me and Mike. Cole would be there sometimes, Chris would be there, so I think that really helped our chemistry out.
Mike?
Yeah, me and Seafred hadn't thrown the ball before the season very much, and I just made sure that this offseason we threw it a lot. Worked pretty much every route and every different spot we could.
Mike, a lot of these guys, when they come up here, they say that they turn to you as a leader. And in football, a lot of the time, the quarterback is the leader in a lot of different ways. But you seem to have put yourself into this role seamlessly as a leader. What do you pride yourself on every single day that you come in, you're representing the Neshaminy Skins, but you hear the guys around you giving that endorsement and expecting you to lead them? What's something that you kind of pride yourself on and carry yourself on, knowing that you're a leader of this team?
Just doing everything right and giving 110% every single day.
Can't get much better than that, Mike. It seems like, you got a really good head on your shoulders there and a strong mind ahead of you. And we wish you nothing but the best heading into this season. For you, Connor, specifically, though, when you talk about this offense, and there's times we've mentioned your threats vertically, but when you have to get down and do the dirty things like block, like pull from time to time like that, what excites you about being a lead blocker potentially for some of the talent in the backfield, or being an integral part in the run blocking game?
It excites me, but I definitely still have more work to do on the blocking part of my blocking part. But me and Coach Wilmot, he's bringing me to O-line every day. We're practicing, and I think I'm getting better.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. One day at a time, just chipping away and doing the things you can do. And when you got a good coach like Steve Wilmot on your side, it definitely makes things a little bit easier. And he's a guy that, again, he said it multiple times, he loves the offensive line and the ability to be able to block guys and set the tone up front. I've asked a number of guys this question. I'll ask you guys the same thing. We'll give you guys each an opportunity to answer it as well. What is one thing you want the area to know about this Neshaminy Skins squad heading into the 2024 season? What is the identity of this team?
We're hungry. We're coming off, my last 2 seasons here, we're coming off a 4-6 season. I'm hungry to get wins, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Mike?
Like Seafred said, they haven't had very good seasons, and I'm here to try and win as many games for them as I can and all the seniors.
Absolutely. Carter, get you a headset real quick. What's something that you want this area, the people watching Neshaminy Skins football, to know heading into this season?
We want to win more than probably anyone in this league. We come out with a great mindset. We're confident. We want to win. That's what we're going with.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys all season long here on WBCB, and we definitely want to see a lot of those wins as well on the Sports Network. And we look forward to seeing you guys all year long and seeing the strides you guys are able to make. 3 of you guys up here, it seems like you've accepted the leadership roles. You're ready to step into that mold, and you guys are doing everything that it seems you're supposed to be doing heading into the start of the season. We thank you guys so much for coming on and taking the time. Steve, you hear them talk about, what's expected of them and the leadership roles that they've been sort of given. And a lot of the time, it's you guys as coaches that kind of give them that leadership opportunity, or tell a guy, like, you are looked at as a leader. What excites you about these 3 guys, knowing that, hearing what they just said about this team, that there's some things where you as a coach, you don't always have to say it. You have guys on the field that are able to kind of reciprocate and relay that message all the way down the command line.
Yeah, we have a bunch of guys on our team that have worked really hard. But right here, again, we have a lot of guys that work really hard, okay? But when you talk about, the franchise, of 2024, you know, Mike's a big part of the franchise, and Carter's a big part of the franchise, and Connor's a big part of the franchise. We're looking for a lot of big things out of these three guys in different ways. I think the leadership comes because I think they produce. They're really hard workers, you know, and I think leadership just kind of naturally seeks these three guys right here. I didn't tell any one of these guys that they're leaders. It just kind of comes naturally to them because, you know, because of their production and their part on the team.
What's something that, you know, you saw last season from Connor? You mentioned a little bit what he was able to do against the competition that he saw, but what's something for each of these guys, starting with Connor, that you're kind of looking for them to maybe take the next step heading into this season?
I think Connor said it. You know, we're working on his blocking. Connor has all kinds of ability catching the ball. We recognize that from very early on in his career. Now I want him to be known as a dominant blocker. You know, Carter, you know, like, you can see the difference from Carter from last year to this year. He is running and he has a burst that I didn't really see last year, and I am really excited to see him carry the football. And you know, I think Mike, I just want to see Mike just play within himself. I think if Mike doesn't try to do too much and just do exactly, you know, what he's coached to do, I think the big plays will come naturally. I don't want him to see him force anything. I just, you know, and I know his quarterback coach says this all the time, just you know, just deal the ball to what's in front of you. And I think Mike will definitely do that.
A couple of these guys have mentioned it as well, but the physicality, the hard-nosed identity is what a lot of the message that they've sent, that they want teams to know that we're going to play hard, we're going to play tough. What have you seen in camp that kind of shows some of that toughness from your squad to start? Again, just a couple practices under your belt, but whether it's been in the workouts or the on-field activity, what to you as a coach has screamed, there's the toughness that I'm looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could look to Carter, yeah, and the way he's been running the ball with his pad levels low and, you know, determination through the hole and the burst that he shows after. You know, our practices are physical. We go against our first, whatever offensive guy doesn't start on offense, plays defense. So we're going against our first defense. Not every play is blocked perfectly, but you know, Carter's an eraser. When you have a running back, sometimes he can erase that one or two blocks that don't get completely done all the way. And you know, Carter's been running hard, and he's been running very physical. You can see he's a big rascal, and I'm excited to see him running against Emmaus.
A big rascal. That is a term that I would definitely remember for the rest of my life. But keep it close with you, man. A big rascal, a tough rascal. That's something I would not want to take on in the A gap anytime soon. Coach, we thank you so much for introducing us to some of your offense here tonight. We thank you three for coming up here and taking the time. Hopefully you guys are able to get some good food in you. Enjoy the time here with your teammates and your family tonight. Wish you nothing but the best of luck, and we look forward to covering you guys this season here on WBCB. Thanks so much for coming on the show, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Three more members of the team here talking with quarterback Michael Eckert, tight end Connor Frederick, and of course the running back Carter Klee. Three integral pieces of this Neshaminy Skins offense as we head into the 2024 season. We'll take another timeout, hear from the Irish Rover as we'll get to speak with some of the defense and some of the special teams here for the Neshaminy Skins. Again, here at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, the Irish Rover. Come on by every night, Tuesday through Sunday. They've got a special that you just cannot resist here at the Irish Rover, 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station here in Langhorne. The Neshaminy Skins preview show continues here on WBCB. We'll be right back.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory ready to drive home today, including Camrys, RAV4s, and Tundras. And with over 200 certified used Toyotas, you can find the right fit for you, or for your budget with 75 used cars under $20,000. Plus, our service departments are giving back this August with donations to kids in need for every oil change and tire rotation. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or online at teamtoyota.net.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBSports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
The old adage in football, defense wins championships, and we are joined now by a couple of the defensive linemen here for the Neshaminy Skins. Shakir Whiting and Jason Cunningham joining the show. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time and coming on out here tonight.
Of course, of course.
So when I got to speak with your coach yesterday over the phone, and one of the first things he said about this defensive line is that you guys are strong and you're explosive. What have you guys seen so far in camp that attests to some of that? Shakir, we'll start with you first.
Well, I'll just say our O-line pushes us to our limit, and we always try. The D-line, it's a bunch of savages, you gotta be a little crazy to play defensive line, and I feel like it just translates to the field when we out there. We really just push.
Jason? We all just push each other every play. Everyone else on the D-line is getting each other's faces. The linebackers are getting rowdy. Everyone on the team is just getting together, really playing well.
Now, a lot of the time, the defensive side of the ball, that brings the toughness, that nastiness, the tenacity that you guys talk about as well. How do you guys set the tone in the trenches defensively?
Just hit them the hardest, Be the strongest one out there, always confident in your game.
Shakir?
You just gotta play rough, play with intent to just rough around the O-line, fight over the line of scrimmage, you want to just be a monster, basically.
What are some goals that you guys have heading into this season, both as a defense but also personally, that you want to have maybe, establish yourself a little bit more firmer in the conference or just across the state as a whole?
Well, personally, I didn't really have a lot of sacks last year, so for myself, I want to at least get 3 sacks on the season.
It's a good goal to have, absolutely. Shakir, how about yourself?
Well, I would just like to stop a lot of runs, passes, all around. I just want to be multi-threat.
You mentioned that versatility on the line. What excites you the most about being able to be a defensive lineman? You mentioned stopping the run. Are you more so of a run stopper, or do you like to get after the quarterback?
I like to get on to the quarterback, but I will stop a run if it needs to be.
Absolutely. Jason, how about you?
I'm mainly a run stopper. I'll be in there on the first 2 downs mainly. If it's a 3rd and long, they'll switch up into a different front, have someone else in there, pass rusher. But if it's 1st and long, 2nd and long, I'll be able to get in there.
What are some things that you guys are learning about getting to practice against an offensive line that you guys have, the experience that you guys have? Not every team in Suburban 1 has that experience, that depth that you guys have on the offensive side. How does that sort of get you guys ready week by week as you guys have gone through camp?
We just got some great linemen, especially the guys on the interior. Kyler Nelson, our guards, are really good too. Always challenging, giving you good looks.
Shakir?
Yeah, like Jason said, they give us good looks. It's good to fight against them.
Are there ever any guys that maybe on the offensive line where after practice maybe or after a play you kind of talk back and forth on different strategy or different things that you might be looking for or how you can execute a little bit better?
Yeah, we're always helping each other out, especially the people in the D-line. If someone's on the sideline that's going to tap you in, they'll give you a tip or something. If I saw something, I would tell Shakir or Woody or any of our other D-linemen.
Absolutely. We talk a lot about the communication in football. The offensive line, they like to communicate a lot, but you guys on the defensive side of things, you need to be on the same page as well. A lot of things move at once, and a lot of things move in an instant offensively, whether it's a guy in motion or a play called out at the line of scrimmage. What are some strengths of this defense, not just the line, but the defense as a whole, that you see the Skins having heading into this season?
I think everyone's just ready to hit. We're all excited to get out there, ready to pop people up.
Shakir?
I agree with Jason. We got a lot of people that just want to just go out there on the field and just rough people up. A lot of guys ready. A lot of guys that lift a lot. Like Woody, he's a real monster on the defensive line.
So very exciting to have both of you guys here, and We will make sure that we highlight this defense as we continue here tonight. But you two guys in the trenches, it starts with you two up front, and you highlighted some of your teammates as well that you have on this team. Coach, they mentioned this guy Woody. What can you tell us about Woody? And apparently he's a physical specimen.
Woody is one of a kind. Woody weighs 180 pounds. We don't know how much he squats because I've never allowed him to put as much weight on as he squats over 550 pounds. I know that. Shakir, he's being a little humble over here. Shakir is really strong too. Jason's strong too. But Woody is a 180-pound guy who power cleans 300 pounds and squats more than 550 because 550 is the most I've ever let him put on the bar.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. Yeah. What does that do for you guys when you see him putting up those numbers in the weight room?
It just brings confidence to everyone out on the field, knowing I have a guy like that next to me, strong, fast, physical, and you can say that for everyone else in the D-line too.
Is there ever any trash talk after he gets done a power clean or a squat where he's like, hey, I'm putting up that in the weight room. Well, let's see what you guys can do.
You don't know Woody. Woody's just a happy-go-lucky kid. Yeah,
that's right.
He is the opposite of a trash talker.
Well, that's great. It's good to have that type of a culture. You guys seem like you're a group that is inspired by the next guy and the guy next to you, and it seems like each guy has something to bring to the table, not just on the field, but both in the weight room, the classroom as well. How have you guys seen yourself coming together as a team? What's a moment or something that you can say or point out that said, this was the moment where we kind of came together or we started to really see what we could be this season heading into the year?
I think it really started in the spring with all of our conditioning. Everyone's trying their hardest out there, every single rep, especially on the lifts too. It's just everyone's always working, always going hard, never giving up.
Jason, very well said. Shakir, thanks so much for taking the time, guys. We got a lot more to cover here and a lot more of the defense to cover before the night ends. So we thank you guys so much for coming on, and we'll get to speak with some of the linebackers, some of the defensive backs here tonight for the Neshaminy Skins defense. Shakir Whiting and Jason Cunningham joining us here tonight, a couple of the defensive linemen here for the Neshaminy Skins ahead of their 2024 season. And Coach, who's joining us next up here on the preview show?
Well, since he's the first to sit down and put his microphone on, right next to me I have Carson Schneider. Carson Schneider is a junior for us. He worked his way into our starting lineup last year, really early in the season. So he played a lot of football last year as a 10th grader. And he plays inside linebacker for us. Guy next to him is a defensive back, John Doherty. John Doherty won a job last year at corner, and certainly he worked hard all offseason. He's going to keep that job. He's going to be out there playing corner for us this year. Again, I can't say really enough about our league. Our league last couple of years has been really good. John was out there, covering the best of them last year. The guy next to him is Colby Bracey. Colby Bracey saw a lot of time last year on offense. Played defense against Pennsbury last year. He still will definitely be playing a lot of offense, a lot of tight end, H-back, fullback type of stuff on offense. But he's the guy who we're really counting on this year at outside linebacker.
So we'll start here with you first, Carson, since you were the first one to sit down and get your headset on. It's good to come in first sometimes. Yeah. But 5 tackles a game for you last season, and we got to talk with some of your interior linemen, some of the guys that get things going for you guys defensively up front. But the linebackers, they fill the gaps, they fill the spaces, and they come up and make those big tackles. You were able to do that a lot last season. How do you take that next step this year, and how do you see yourself fitting into the sort of mold that is established with this Neshaminy Skins defense?
Well, last year, I had to fill in really big shoes coming in as just a sophomore. And I think with my knowledge and experience already, playing in the Suburban 1 League, I can come in this year and improve my game, and I hope that I can double those numbers at least this year.
What are some things that you looked at specifically, whether it was on film or afterwards going back and watching the highlights from last season? What are some things that you looked at for your game that you wanted to improve coming into this year?
I got really confused sometimes trying to read offenses. I got clouded, but I learned through this offseason and talking with my coaches that I need to take a minute and then fly around and have fun.
Yeah, it seems like guys out on the football field, when there's less thinking and more just carefree running towards the football, especially defensively. That's when the best plays are made, and less thinking is sometimes a good thing, especially out on the field specifically. But you talk about this defense, and we heard about the toughness that wants to be established on that side of the ball. You're around the football a lot, and you make a lot of big plays with that. What is the message that you send, not just to the opposition, but to your teammates as well? If maybe there's a slow start defensively, or there's something going on in the field where you're not on the same page, how do you, as a leader now in this defense, make sure that guys are on the same page and they're bringing that intensity level that you want to see out there?
A big thing we talked about with all our defensive guys is that we're hungry this year. We didn't have that many good years previously, but this year we want to change it up. We want to fly around. We want to make plays. We want people to be scared of the Neshaminy defense. And I guess as a leader coming in, I want to bring my guys together and be like, hey, we're trying to make plays. We're trying to turn this ball over, get our offense in that end zone. So let's get on the same page. Let's figure out what we're doing, and let's fly around.
That's great stuff. And we'll get to talk now a little bit with John Doherty. John, your coach said you came in, you won a spot last year, and you're going to keep that spot. First things first, how does that feel knowing that, one, you were able to earn one last year, but keeping it and maintaining it and staying as a starter heading into this season? That's got to be a pretty good feeling for you.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good knowing that I have a spot on the team, knowing that I could get to do it. I love to do it, play football. I mean, earning my spot last year was pretty hard. And then once we got into the games and stuff, and I got to go in and play in the varsity games on Fridays, it kind of just worked out. Got my spot, worked hard off the off season, and do what I had to do.
What was one thing that you learned last season that you're looking to take into this year?
Last year I learned a lot about just reading receivers and where they line up on the ball, inside, outside, what routes they're going to run from where they line up, stuff like that helped me a lot.
And you were able to cover some pretty decent talent, to say the least, across the Suburban 1 League. A lot of talent on the outside of those offenses at the wide receiver spot, tight ends as well across the board. What's something this season that you're looking to staple yourself or really cement yourself? How can you do so in this Suburban 1 League? What's something that you're going to do this season that kind of shows the rest of the league that I'm here to stay and I'm meant to be a starter in the Suburban 1 League?
Just going to make plays, not let nobody catch the ball, make a tackle when I need to, and just fly around the field at all times.
Awesome stuff, John. We thank you so much for taking the time. If you don't mind passing that headset over to Colby Bracey, another linebacker here for the Neshaminy Skins. Colby, you hear your teammate in Carson talk about flying around to the football, playing carefree, and really just being tenacious defensively. How do you do that out on the football field?
I feel like I kind of just do it on the same way with Carson. We just go out there and hit, and there's really nothing else to. We just go out there, do what we're told to do, and we make plays.
How have you seen sort of the communication between you two guys? I mean, linebackers, similar to, a quarterback and a wide receiver having to talk to get on the same page. You guys have to talk a lot pre-snap as well. What's that communication been like between you two guys?
During the preseason now, we're just getting into making our reads and how to set up against certain formations and that, and it's a lot. You're right. It's a lot of talking between me and Carson, telling him if I'm blitzing or not, or just other things like that, really. Dropping coverage and whatnot.
Do you guys ever have a moment where you're kind of able to, without even words, just kind of look at each other and throw up a hand signal?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's how our defense is. We're just all really close together, bonded together. We're all like brothers with each other, so we can definitely do stuff like that with each other.
What's a moment from this offseason that really solidified it for you that, we have a good group and we can make some noise here in the Suburban 1 League?
So for our Redskin 11, if you look at it, it's a lot of our linebacker crew. The 4 guys that are going to be out there on Friday night are some of the top guys in that crew. So that means a lot for us, having the strongest guys out there playing one of the biggest positions. I think that means a lot.
Without a doubt. And the linebacking crew, it's a unit that, like we said, it has to be on the same page, but there's an energy that comes with being a linebacker and a tenacity that comes with being a linebacker. What's the energy that you like to bring out on the field specifically? Are you a big rah-rah guy? Are you a big, yeller before the snap? Or
No, I mean I will get people to their place when they need to be. You know, if someone's not doing what they need to be and they need some help, I will push them in that direction. But a lot of the time, it's just I'm just getting everybody going. You know, just getting everybody hyped up. So yeah.
There's a lot of excitement and a lot of I want to say, you know, just light that gets shined on the Neshaminy program from year to year. You know, you have a great stadium, you have a great following. What's something that you look forward to the most heading into this season?
I think just keeping that going, because you know the past few years obviously we're not the best, but going into this year we're really looking forward to make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you guys so much for taking the time. Colby Bracey, Carson Snyder, and John Doherty here joining the show tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. Wish you nothing but the best heading forward into this season. The Neshaminy Skins defense, and a tough defense at that, as we approach the 2024 season. Week 1, 10 days away, and it all kicks off here on the WBCB Sports Network. August 23rd, 7 o'clock, right here on WBCB. The Skins play host to Emmaus, and we will have that coverage for you all season long. And now we are joined by a couple of special teamers, Caden Nicastro and Jason Wilmot. Guys, thanks so much for coming on. And first things first, Caden, you had a pretty good year last year. A lot of talk around you when I read a lot of the write-ups heading into this season. You're considered as one of the best kickers, one of the best punters in this area. What's sort of your expectations for this year, whether it's personally or as a team, that you're looking to kind of take to the next level?
I just want to do my best to help the team win games, keep the field goal percentage and PAT percentage as close to 100 as possible, and make sure I'm just putting kickoffs wherever the coaches want it.
And Jason, for you, I mean, you've been around this program a long time. I mean, you and your dad, you know, you share a bond, not just as father and son, but you do this thing together now out on the football field. What's it been like for you, kind of, now you're thrusted into more of a leadership role, you're getting more opportunities out there on the field. What has it been like for you growing throughout this program and your dad alongside you throughout the way?
I mean, obviously, it's been special, and I mean, not a lot of kids like me get to experience it, so I'm thankful. I mean, football at home kind of stays separate sometimes, but 90% of the time, whatever happens stays, and I think that's something that's you need to have if you have a blonde like us.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it much better myself. Steve, what's something that excites you, whether it's these two gentlemen right here next to you, but your special teams as a whole? It's a large facet of the game, and when you have a strong leg like you do here with Caden, the ability to flip the field, that is something that is a high value at the high school level.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you know, we want definitely Caden to be a weapon for us this year. You know, like he said it, like Caden Caden does have the ability to put the ball in the end zone this year on kickoffs. Unfortunately, you know, like we're looking at Emmaus, we know they're going to have two real good returners, and if Caden kicks it to the 3 instead of the goal line, you know, one of those two guys that are Division I guys already committed to Kent State can grab the ball. So we do ask Caden to do a lot. He's got to be smart for us where he puts the kickoffs. You know, field goals are field goals. He just has to kick them through the uprights. But his punts are very, very valuable for our team too. You know, flipping the field position is really, really important. Takes a lot of pressure off of our defense. You know, so Caden's a really good weapon for us.
And your son as well. I mean, Jason, you know, more and more as the year have unfolded, you've been able to entrust in him more as a player out on the field. What's it been like for you, not just as a father, but a head coach of this team, being able to see him grow in this program?
Yeah, it's been great. You've mentioned the word chemistry with a lot of different people, whether it's Kyler and Mike Eckert. You know, these two guys next to us have chemistry too. You know, Jason was his holder when Caden started kicking as a 10th grader, was his holder last year, will be his holder this year. Now Jason's role has expanded on the team. You know, he backs up Carter at running back. He plays every single special team, so his role's expanded too, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun. I was lucky enough to coach my stepson. He graduated in 2019. That was, and he played offensive line, so you talk about really coming home and separating things. Jason isn't an offensive lineman; he plays other positions, but it has been fun, and that's what it's all about.
What, for both of you guys, what excites you the most heading into this season?
I'm just excited to see all of our hard work pay off and just win football games.
For me, it's our D-line. Going against them every day is a pain, to say the absolute least. When me and Carter go in, every play they're disrupting something. I'm excited. I know Woody's not here, but he's not a big dude, but he will make the biggest difference in the game.
Guess I should have brought Woody.
We've heard a lot about Woody tonight, and we'll probably hear a lot more about him as the season unfolds. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time. We wish you nothing but the best this season, and we're really looking forward to covering you guys on WBCB all season long.
Thanks.
Again, joined by kicker and punter Caden Nicastro, special teamer Jason Wilmot, alongside Coach Steve Wilmot. We've been here at the Irish Rover. We thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. You've been watching and listening to the Neshaminy Football Preview Show here on WBCB. Best of luck to the Skins this season. Good luck to Neshaminy, and we look forward to having you guys tune in all season long to football here on the WBCB Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody, and go Skins.